Welcome to DevLaps episode 4. Today I'll be showing you how to capture some decent POV footage. It's really easy to capture good POV footage if the weather's nice. All you need is a helmet mount, a GoPro with video stabilization, and knowledge on how to use them. So the first thing is to make sure that the helmet mount is front and centered on the helmet. I like that position there, it seems to work for me. But it's really important to make sure that the adhesive is secure, so I like to set my helmet in front of a heater for a little while, come back to it, and then stick that GoPro adhesive mount as hard as I can on the helmet. I've had a couple of adhesive mounts completely snap off while I'm riding, and resulted in me having to look for my GoPro in the snow, and that was no fun. So I also try to avoid flailing my arms, because I've knocked my GoPro off my helmet before and had to search for it. That was no fun. Flailing the arms is never good, but the next thing is to make sure that the angle is so that I can see the ground and the sky while I'm riding. So I like that angle there a lot. It seems to work for me, but it's also very important to make sure the screw is as tight as possible. I always tighten the screw every time I put the GoPro on my helmet so that the angle does not adjust on me while I'm riding, because I won't notice that until the bottom. But the next thing is to make sure that the helmet fits securely on my head and there's not too much shaking around. So I like this black strap face mask combo with this helmet. It seems to work just perfectly, but I try to keep it consistent with the thickness of face mask that I'm wearing so that my helmet's never shaking around too much. I shoot with the GoPro Hero 7 at 1440 at 120 frames per second with a wide angle lens. I use 120 frames per second for action shots and POV footage, but for videos like this I'll use 60 or even 30 frames per second. Overall, it's super easy to capture really good POV footage when the weather's nice. However, that's just not always the case. The weather is not always sunny and warm, and oftentimes these GoPros will die in the cold. They die really quick. They'll go from 100% to 3% within minutes if they're exposed to wind or cold. So whenever I'm not using the GoPro, I always kind of fold it up there so it's not stabbing me. Then I will stick it in my pocket with a little Hotties pack. I always keep this ready to go in my pocket so that it keeps my GoPro warm, and so that way, my GoPro's not going to die on my first run of an epic powder day where I might miss out on all that footage. That being said, I always keep a spare battery on me in a plastic bag just in case. But on days that it's around 30 degrees and precipitating, it's just not ideal to shoot videos at all. So the moisture will just stick to the lens, and it's just really hard to capture good footage because you have to wipe the lens constantly. But on days where it's sunny, days where it's just cold powder, it's just awesome. And these GoPros are amazing. They have really good video stabilization, and it's just super easy to capture good shots. So here's a little edit of me getting some POV footage.